Go PC fam, what's going on? It is Saturday, September 13th. We are getting one day closer to the NBA season. Every day the sun comes up, we're getting closer to the NBA season. WNBA playoffs are right around the corner. We will get into that today as well. But chill, I want to start with something else. Mm-hmm. We have been following Cam Thomas, Jonathan Kaminga, Josh Giddey, all these guys trying to figure out the contract situation, whether they're going to take qualifying offers, whether the team is going to give them what they're asking for, what's necessarily going to happen. It's come out, the full court pass, they posted that the veterans on the Warriors are wondering about the Jonathan Kaminga's buy-in if he does take the qualifying offer. Like, will he be bought into the system? Is he going to be there for the team, or is this all about him? Chill, is that concern from the vets, meaning Jimmy, Dre, Steph, all those guys? Is that warranted for them to be worried about that?
Well, first of all, Ox, I just love our Saturday shows. The energy different on Saturday. I don't know what it is about Saturday, but the energy is just different on Saturday. So I love our Saturday shows. I want to start there. So number two, of course it's going to be, worry from other guys because, you got a young guy and he's still trying to establish himself in the league. But I think that the worry that they have for him, I think that is completely unwarranted off the strength that I'm in a money year and he wants to get paid. Well, the last thing that I want to do, Ox, in a money year is cause disruption. The last thing that I want to do in the money year is not buy into what we're doing, because what it's going to do is it's going to affect my play. And if it affects my play, you know what that affects? My bread. So I don't want to do that. I absolutely want to be bought into what we're doing. Because last I checked, how many times have we seen guys who played on teams that were really good and they get in a money year and they end up buying into the system? However far these teams go, they end up buying into the system and they end up getting a really good deal on the other side of that. A prime example of that would be Bruce Brown. I mean, Bruce Brown is in a money year. He's playing for the Denver Nuggets. They win the NBA championship. He ultimately goes on to get $35 million, right? So he probably wouldn't have gotten that anywhere else if he didn't buy into what was going on in Denver. He buys into the system. He buys into what they're doing.
Got 44.
Who got 44?
I think Bruce got 44, 2-year 44. Not 35.
I thought it was 35. My fault. Okay, let's give him more bread then. No question about that. Okay, so if it's more bread, that compounds my point that when I'm playing with guys who have been to the championship, who have championship experience, I am on a Golden State Warrior team that did win the NBA championship. I'm probably not going to be here long term because I think it's obvious how they feel about me, but I'm down to play the game. I'm 100% down to play the game to get paid because objectively, that's my goal. I'm trying to get paid. That's why we've had such a problem throughout the course of the offseason about contracts, because there's really hasn't been the money that I'm looking for that's on the table. Well, we end up getting busy this year. We end up having a really good season, and I buy into what we're doing, and I play well. Now I get to write my own ticket. I'm 22 years old, 23 years old. I get to write my own ticket. I get to go play wherever I want to go play. And now the money's on the table for me at that point. So I don't think that the Warriors, especially Curry and Dre and Jimmy Butler, I don't think that they are worried about Jonathan Kaminga, because I think that he's one of those guys who recognizes what we're trying to do here, and they recognize what he's trying to do. Because, I mean, Dre has already gotten paid. Buckets has gotten paid. Curry has gotten paid multiple times. So they know what it's like to have guys get paid. They know what it's like to help guys get paid. So I'm definitely on board with helping you get paid if you buy into what we're doing. And I think he sees that. So I don't think this is an issue at all in Golden State.
I mean, I've seen Jimmy and Draymond to a certain extent cause a little bit of ruckus about they dough too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
I've seen Jimmy cause some big ruckuses about his bread, and I've seen Draymond. I won't say Draymond, definitely not to the extent of Jimmy Butler, but I've seen Draymond, let it be known like, no, I want what I want. I'm worth what I'm worth. Now, with that being, now go ahead, Chill. What you gonna say about that?
Keep going. You're right.
Okay. So, with that being said,
to your point, did I lose him? No, he's still here. You were saying something, Knox. You said, with that being said, keep going.
Okay, chill. Is that your Wi-Fi or is that me? Because you had
No, we
like
good.
froze on mine. Okay.
Yeah. We good.
So with that being said, I've seen both of them cause a little bit of ruckus, but it's kind of, with that being said, it is kind of hard as humans for us to realize that somebody's doing the same thing I did. You know what I mean? Sometimes as a human, it's like, when it comes to my money, I understand. Now when it comes to your money, bro, you messing up the program. You know, as sometimes as humans, that's how we act. So I see a guy like Draymond Green, a guy like Steph Curry, like, man, we got 4 rings. Like, getting 5 puts us in a whole new ballpark. Like, we need Jonathan, we need you, because you are our young guy that can go. JK can go, you know? So it's like, in Draymond and Steph, they've seen him grow. They know how good he is. So I can see them like, come on, man, like, you need to lock in. I understand you're going through some financial stuff or whatever, but you need to lock in. Let's get this ring. Let's make a push for it, right? Now I can see for Jimmy Butler, he's like, man, I don't got no hardware. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't got no hardware. Yo, young fella, get your shit together. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I can see them being concerned. In fact, if I was them, I would be very concerned. I would be worried as well. I would be like, yo, are you here to win, or are you here worried about yourself? Because when you say things like, I want a bigger role, I want to do this, it's like, bro, and mind you, I understand that from your point of view, but from my point of view, I'm 36, I'm 35, I'm 34. I don't got much time left. I need this hardware. So, young fella, I need you to snap out of it and understand that if the more championships we win, the more valuable you look to other people, and you'll be able to get your money. You know. So, right or wrong, I understand some concern from the vets.
And let's not leave out the fact, I said, I already got my bread. I'm already paid, so that's not an issue. There won't be any grumblings from me like, yo, go get your money. Well, I'm already paid. Draymond is already paid. Steph is already paid. Jimmy Butler, he just signed an extension for $122 million last season. So he's already paid. With that being said, okay, I'm trying to get my hardware and I'm trying to get to the championship. I think that Jonathan Kaminga recognizes that, yo, I'm going to be around way longer than these dudes. And the last thing that I want is a reputation for being a locker room killer, for being a coach killer, for being a disruption in the locker room. I don't want that on any level. And because I don't want that on any level, especially because I'm in a money year, I'm definitely going to do everything that I can, one, to fall in line, but to also show that I'm worth the money that I'm asking for. It might not look like that right now, but the ace or the joker card that I have is that I'm on a really good team. That's I think that's the plus side, because I do, on some level, will get to show how good I am. I will get to show that I am on the level of being a future piece to somebody, because I already played for a championship team. I was on that team that won a championship in 22. I've been with the Warriors for how long I've been with the Warriors. So I think it's been nothing short of great. So yes, I don't think this is. I do understand what it could possibly mean, and it could possibly be a disruption, but I think we passed that. I think he's going to sign that. I think he's going to sign that qualifying offer, and I think we're going to get rolling, because I think he sees long term that I'm going to ultimately get paid.
Right. And Chill, you said that he's on a great team, but you have the Warriors on the outside looking in this year, don't you?
I do have them out. I do have them on the outside looking in. Here's the difference: if Jonathan Kaminga could be what I think he could be a plus. He could be a plus to them. And I think that could work for them. If it doesn't, then we could be looking at some whole other stuff here. You know, and maybe let me rephrase that. Not necessarily on a great team. I'm playing with great players. I don't know what this team is going to look like. And we do have a collection of great players with Jimmy Butler, with Draymond Green, with Steph Curry. We got some really good players here, but because we got some really good players, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to have a great team, but we got some good players. And I think that I could help there. I think that's where I'm at with it.
They still got Buddy, right? Yeah, they still got
Buddy is still there. Yep. Pods is still there. Moody is still there. The kid Post, he's there. Jackson Davis is there. So, you know, I think we'll be good.
Yeah, that's one of those teams, Chill, where I won't be surprised I won't be surprised if they're the fifth seed, but I also won't be surprised if they're the 10th
If
seed.
they out on the outside looking in. I just think because the Western Conference is just so. I think because the Western Conference is going to be so stacked, like it's been in the past. I just think it's going to be so stacked. And I think because, Curry is long in the tooth, Jimmy Butler is getting long in the tooth. I can appreciate all of that working out stuff. But, this is a young man's league, Ox. This isn't what it was 20 years ago when the older teams were the teams that ended up winning the NBA, that ended up going deep in the playoffs and winning the NBA championship. If you look at the Oklahoma City Thunder, not only are they the youngest team to win the NBA championship, I think they're the youngest team. If they're not the youngest team in the league, they're one of the youngest teams in the league. And this is where we are when it comes. This is where we are when it comes to teams like this. I mean, a league like this. So I think that in this space, I think we're going with the out with the old, in with the new. So I'm interested to see how Jonathan Kaminga does with this crew. I am. Yeah, I really am.
Me too. Chill. Some other news from guys that are coming up on contracts. We got some questions about Austin Reaves. Austin Reaves is next year can pretty much turn down he has an option next year. So what do you think is going to happen with that? Are there going to be some Austin Reaves sweepstakes, or teams going to be after Austin? If he's planning on turning down that and going shopping, do you think the Lakers might be willing to move off of him in the trade deadline? Or what does the future look like for Austin Reaves? I mean, because we all know he had one of the best contracts in the NBA, one of the best contracts we've seen in a long time. I mean, what was he making? 12, 13 mil last year?
14 million last year. 13.9 last year. 13.9.
Averaging the dub, like,
yeah.
That's pretty nice. You know what I'm saying? So
yes.
what do you think? What do you think the future looks like for Austin Reaves in the Los Angeles Lakers?
So there aren't many guys in the league that are averaging 20 a game on that at that price. Let's be clear about that right now. There aren't many guys in the league that are averaging that kind of, giving you that kind of production.
Chill. I would actually be curious to know how many guys are averaging 20 that aren't making 20 mil.
There aren't many. I could tell you right now, Ox. If I look at when I look at the landscape of the season, this season that just passed in particular, right? This season that just passed in particular, if I go back and look, and I look at the league leading scorers, I look at the guys who led the league in scoring. So I got 1, 2, 3. So I got Austin Reaves averaging 20 a game. Pascal Siakam is on the books for a bunch of money. Mikal Bridges is on the books for about 23 million. Kobe White, I think he's still on his Rook deal. I don't think he's still on his Rook deal. Jordan Poole's making some good money. Darius Garland is on a max deal. This is just 20 a game. This isn't 20 plus. This is just 20 a game. These are 5 guys: Austin Reaves, Pascal Siakam, Miles Bridges, not Mikal Bridges, Miles Bridges in Charlotte. And I think he's making a little bit of money because I think he was on a 1-year deal down in Charlotte for that 20. Yeah, he's on the books for 20. He's on the books for 25 million.
He blew his money. He had a nice contract already for him.
He had a bag coming to him. Yes, he definitely had a bag coming to him. Jalen Green is averaging 21 a game. You see what his money looks like? RJ Barrett, Jamal Murray, Jalen Williams, Norman Powell, Jaren Jackson Jr. Then we get to the guys that are doing stuff like that. Well, Austin Reaves coming up this season, in the 25-26 season, he's on the books for the 25-26 season, he's on the books for 13.9. Next year, he's got an option for that 14.9, 14.8. He's going to leave that on the table, especially if they get busy this year, like I think that they're going to get busy. So if they get busy, like I think he's going to get busy, considering what Luka looks like in the EuroBasket tournament, the kind of shape that he's in, having DeAndre Ayton as a pick and roll, pick and dive guy, because he had really good chemistry with Anthony Davis. And I think that DeAndre Ayton is a really good pick and roll, pick and dive guy. And I think he's a really good mid-range shooter too. So with that being said, he had really good chemistry with Anthony Davis. I think he'll have good chemistry with DeAndre Ayton too. So I wouldn't be surprised if I saw something between I would not be surprised if I saw something between 18 to 22 a game from Austin Reaves. And I think that with the Lakers going deep into the playoffs, I mean, I could see him leaving that 14 million on the table. Here's the difference though, Ox. Austin Reaves has proven two things. One, I can get busy in the playoffs, right? He's shown that when he got busy against Memphis. He did a great job in that Memphis series. And then last season, he's shown that he can get taken out of a series too. That's the downside to it. So when you're talking about one, extension, and two, getting paid at a large price, that's the kind of stuff I think the teams look at. And I think that Austin Reaves is one of those guys who is either feast or famine with him, because he's not a great defender, great shooter, definitely can get to the rim. Definitely can get to the rim with the best of them. With him getting to the rim with the best of them, I think that his ability to score is some of the best in the league. All right, so that's the plus side to this. Well, the fact that he can't defend, the fact that he can get taken out of games when, like what Anthony Edwards did to him, keeping the basketball away from him, taking him out of the game as a shooter. When you doing stuff like that, right? I feel like when you do stuff like that, I feel like teams look at that and they go, well, $25-30 million, is it worth it for him? We'll find out if a team is interested or not. So we'll see.
Right. So let's talk about the EuroBasket.
Let's do that. Yes,
we saw what Turkey just did to Greece.
Mm-hmm.
After the game, Alp Sengun had some words that shocked a lot of people. Didn't shock me much, but and even some people were upset because what he said was, Giannis is a great player, but he's not that good of a passer. I'm paraphrasing a little bit. Those might not have been his exact words.
No, that's exactly what he said. That's exactly what he said.
Yeah. So he's a great player, but his passing ain't what it's all hyped up to be. I also agree. I don't think Giannis is the best passer, and I think and they clearly exploited that. I mean, what does that sound like to you? What does that mean to you? How did you enjoy the game? Were you shocked at all? What do you got to say about that?
Ox, I think that people they think that these dudes just show up to games, then they just play. They forget that, we got scouting reports. We watch tape. We watch film. And we absolutely have things that we go over when we're talking about great players. And we recognize that Giannis is a great downhill player while watching the film. You know what? This guy is fantastic downhill. This guy is fantastic at getting to the rim. He's great in transition. He's great at drawing kick. You know what? He's not as good of a passer on the left block as he is when he's drawing and kicking. He's not as good of a passer on the right block when as good as he is with draw and kick. So if he's not as good of a passer on the right block as he is draw and kicking, okay, that means that he's an even worse passer when we double him. So if we got one guy on him, he might not be as good of a passer. When we double team him, that definitely is that is going to go down. Well, when we triple team him, which is what Turkey did yesterday, they made sure that Giannis had 2 and 3 guys around him. Remember what we saw a couple of nights ago, Ox, when we watched the Lakers and the Trailblazers, how they did Shaq? That's what Turkey did to Giannis yesterday. They said to them other dudes, y'all dudes got to make shots because this guy isn't going to do it. We're going to make him be the primary distributor on the block. We're going to load up in the paint. We're going to form a wall. Not that Giannis can't knock down the mid-range because I've seen throughout the course of this EuroBasket tournament that he was able to knock down the mid-range. I watched him play against Latvia, and he did that consistently against Kristaps Porzingis. So he's able to do that, but Giannis wants to get downhill. Giannis plays with force. That's who Giannis is. So Sengun, okay, we're gonna take the game to you. We're going to make you pass out of the double team. We're going to make you pass out of the triple team. And when those guys aren't scoring, when you pass them the ball, Giannis becomes frustrated and Giannis puts his head down and he wants to go to the rim. That's who Giannis is. When we put 2 and 3 guys around you, we make life a lot more difficult for you, which would explain why he had 5 turnovers yesterday, because he's trying to pass out of the double team. He's trying to put his head down and get to the rim, and he's running guys over, and he's throwing the ball out of bounds. And the reason why he's doing that is because those other guys aren't producing. So that's part of the game plan that Sengun was talking about. He's not a great passer. He didn't say that Giannis wasn't very good at all. These guys are flawed players. And with these guys being flawed players, what we have to do is we got to take advantage of their flaws. Giannis doesn't pass that well on the left block. So let's get him with the offense that they run, when they get that offense on the left block, Giannis doesn't pass great over his right shoulder. When he's looking over his right shoulder, he doesn't pass great. Okay, well, let's make him do that. Let's make the double team come from the weak side. When the double team comes from the weak side and he's looking over his right shoulder with his weak hand, that's going to be a problem for him. Okay, Giannis doesn't pass great going to his left. So when he's getting downhill, let's make sure that we clog the lane so he's passing to guys off rhythm. Let's make sure that we do that. And I think that Turkey did a really good job. I think that Turkey did a really good job yesterday in getting Giannis different looks. I think they did a really good job of gang rebounding, and they were just too much for Greece. Way too much for Greece. And I thought they put Giannis in a bunch of precarious situations to make Giannis look a lot worse than what he was. They just took advantage of his flaws. And I 100% agree with what Sengun was saying about him not being a great passer. The way that they guarded him, not because he's not a great passer. No, we just think that we can handle you and make you pass the way you don't want to pass. And I think they did a good job at that.
Yeah, I think that's a good game plan. Definitely. Matter of fact, you know what? We got a Hall of Famer in the lobby. Let's pull up my man Multi Kenny and see what he thinks about this game and just how was he feeling about the matchup? How do you feel about Sengun's comments, and what does he think about the upcoming matchup between Germany and Turkey?
Yep.
Yo, Kenny, you there?
Yeah, you pulled me up at the. You hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. You want me to?
Yeah.
Too early? You want me to put you back?
Yeah, too early. I didn't watch the game. Sorry.
Yeah, he wasn't ready. All right, he ain't ready. He want to talk about something else. Oh, that's fine.
All good. I'll bring you back in a minute, Kenny.
Yeah, I got you.
Mm-hmm. He wants to talk about something else. That's fine.
Hey,
what's up, fam?
What's good, family? So, so I watched the game last night. I tried catching the Germany and Finland game, but I ain't gonna lie, I didn't wake up that early. But yeah, so when I was watching that Greece-Turkey game, Osmani, he was like cracking the long ball extremely early and stuff like that, and they got off to a really hot start because of him. And like the game, like I think the closest the game got to was like 4 points.
They handled them dudes.
Yeah, it was.
There was at no point that I feel like Turkey was not in control of that game, even when Greece got back in it.
Yeah,
there was no point that I felt like. Yeah, there was no point that I felt like that Turkey was not in complete control of that game. At no point did I feel like that.
Yeah, because I really thought Greece was going to have a little bit of a better chance because of like the length they had on the floor with Kostas Antetokounmpo in there too, because he was actually doing a little bit of work throughout this EuroBasket in the post and like with his post defense, and it was actually pretty impressive. But yeah, like when Osmani was cracking it and then Sengun was just diming up his teammates and stuff, it was just an onslaught from start to finish. But in between the game with Germany and Turkey, it's going to be a great game. I really hope it's a great game. Mm-hmm. But I'm not going to lie. I think I'm probably going to pick Germany to win it all because France is really good at drawing those fouls or drawing the contact with and getting to the free throw line. Because I'm assuming you guys seen the game with Slovenia when they played
Slovenia, you mean?
Slovenia, yeah, sorry. Mm-hmm. So, and he was drawing a lot of contact. Granted, the officiating was kind of, it was a bit iffy. But, yeah, I think Germany is going to have a real good chance because of that. Schroeder being a good playmaker, especially, like, during the pick and rolls with Tice. Yeah. But I won't be surprised if Turkey wins because Sengun has been the best player, in my opinion, throughout this entire tournament. So I can't wait. It's going to be a great game. And
I actually thought Luka was the best player. I think that he might have been playing the best. Sengun might have been playing the best, but I think Luka was. I think Luka and Giannis, those two guys, I felt like they were the two best players in the tournament. But when I look at what Germany does defensively, Germany just reminds me of an anaconda. They just squeeze the life out of you. That's all they do. What they do is they wear you down. They build a wall. Their interior defense, even though they don't have a tremendous amount of size consistently, but they do have good size. What they do is they just squeeze. They just hold you to one shot consistently, and that wears teams down. And I think that they did a good job with Slovenia. Like, people will look at the box score, because I had a conversation earlier about numbers. People will look at the box score, which isn't objective. It said that Luka had 39 points, and Luka did have 39 points. What we missed was a lot of that stuff that Luka got, it was really tough shots. Now, it might not be a tough shot to Luka, but me watching it and me seeing what I'm seeing, pushing Luka 24 feet away from the basket, a lot of his shots were tough shots. I thought Germany did a really good job at that. And I think that they're going to do the same thing against Turkey when it comes to Sengun. I don't think that they jump him on the box because he's a really good passer, but I do think that they jump him in the mid post. I think they keep the ball away from him in that space because I thought they did a good job. I thought they did a good job against Slovenia with that too, because I think that's where Luka wanted to operate, especially coming off that pick and roll, and they chased him off that on the regular. Now, I think that Germany, on the other hand, with France, them playing fast, because Germany can play fast. Dennis Schroeder has them playing fast. I don't think they smoke Turkey, but I think they pull away from Turkey late. I think they handle them.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Bro, real quick, who y'all got for the fight tonight? Crawford or Canelo?
Well, they both weighed in at the same weight. So I'm not buying that whole, different weight class thing. They both weighed in at the same weight. I don't think I've ever seen Crawford fight at this weight right here.
Yeah, he moved up 3 divisions, I think. 2-3 divisions.
He moved up 2 of them. So I haven't seen him fight at this weight, but I know one thing. I know that Canelo's got to stay away from that jab. So he's going to do what he can to get close. He's going to do what he can to get close to Crawford. I think Crawford is going to pop him with that jab on the regular. I got Crawford winning tonight.
I do too.
Yep.
All right. Anyway,
I got a couple bets, man. I got a total of 550 out there right now on Crawford. So I hope he come through for me, man.
All right, fellas.
Crawford need to come through so my dude Big Ox can hold something.
Yeah, I need a couple dollars. Chill. I'm still sitting on the same $3 I came on the panel with.
Got it. Yeah. They collect no interest, Ox, after all these years.
None whatsoever. It's still the same old $3. Yes, sir. Yeah. So that's that. I could dig that. So, Chill, I want to ask you a question about that though. Do you think that that this tournament, and I know you're big on like the international playing and the guys coming to the year. What do you think that this does for Sengun and his confidence?
Well, you know how I feel, Ox, about guys playing international ball and that translating to the NBA season. That's why I was so high on Bam last season, was because I've seen guys play in the international game and it just come right into the NBA season and they end up getting busy. Jason Tatum proved that in the Olympics in 21 when he comes in the next season and he's playing so much better that he ends up being first team All-Pro. I might have been a year too early on Bam. Excuse me. I think that this season is the season that he does what I think he was going to do. With that being said, Sengun, the plus side to him is just like Luka, like we don't have that much time in between the EuroBasket tournament and training camp. So we can segue right into that. We could keep this tidal wave going. So the confidence level that he has, it's not like the season starts 3 months from now and I just get back to just working out and playing pickup. No. Training camp opens in 2 weeks, right? Training camp opens in like a week and a half, 2 weeks. So I could get right back to it, and I could keep that confidence level that I've had playing in the EuroBasket tournament. And I think that Ime Udoka, just like Eric Spoelstra, in addition to Eric Spoelstra, just like a lot of these other coaches, they've seen what these guys have done in the EuroBasket tournament, and I think that they take that. Sengun in particular, I think that they take that and they implement some of that stuff into what was going on in the NBA this season. Because I can promise you, Ox, there's no way that I'm watching Sengun get busy at the mid post, get busy at the corner, right? Get busy on the elbow, and we not putting that in our offense. We got to put stuff like that in our offense, especially considering how wide open the game is. So I love that. I absolutely love that.
Now we all know Giannis listens, and we've known Giannis to respond. Giannis and James Harden had a little rift there for a moment. Do you think that Sengun might have ignited something between him and Giannis, or am I digging too deep into this?
Because when players get called out publicly, that's where the competition aspect comes in. Oh, you don't think I can pass? Okay, we're going to get to the bottom of that. Oh, you don't think that I can score? Okay, we're going to get to the bottom of that. I know you saw me not too long ago, and I wasn't very good at that, but we'll definitely get to the bottom of that. And when I see you next season, we definitely are going to get to the bottom of that. That's not to say that Giannis is going to scorch him for 40. That wouldn't blow my mind because we know Giannis for doing that kind of stuff anyway, right? But I think the stuff where you're calling out stuff that I don't do well, when you calling that stuff out, the competition level comes out of me, and I'm like, okay, you don't think that I can do this? Let's get to the bottom of that. So, and it goes back to what we just got finished talking about, Ox. These guys have scouting reports. I know that you guys think that these guys just show up and just play basketball. No, we have departments that give us tape, and we go over this stuff. And we're going over this stuff. I know what you're good at. I know what you're not good at. I know where you're good at this. I know where you're not good at this. That's why you see Giannis turning the basketball over 5 times, because we go over this sort of stuff. So now in the NBA, it might be a little bit different because we got so many games, right? So it's difficult because we play tonight on Saturday, then we play again tomorrow night on Sunday, and then we play again on Tuesday. It's a little bit different. But in the EuroBasket tournament, where, I got some time to figure some guys out, I think it's a little bit different, but this has definitely done that. Ox. Ignited some things in Giannis, no doubt.
No, for sure. Let's see. Let me see who we got in the lobby here. Okay, hold on. We got Brooklyn in the house. Let me pull up my man Breezy. Let's see what Breezy got for us today. What's up, Breeze?
Yo, what up,
Brooklyn
Chill?
in the house, without a doubt.
For sure. Yo, Chill. What up, Big Ox?
What up?
Yo.
What's going on?
Hopefully I can get to see Big Ox for his birthday. Say coming to the town. Hopefully that happens. But I wanted to ask Chill mainly and ask you too, Ox. Just kind of piggybacking on what y'all was talking about the big man passing the ball. We seen the point guard. Y'all heard about the conversation, the death of the point guard. We seen point forwards, but is Jokic and Sagoon and Sabonis going to make point center a thing in the NBA? Is that going to be a thing that hits the modern NBA, and from here on out, maybe something that entertains the NBA audience?
I think we already been doing that, and I think that's largely due to international players like Joker, like Giannis, because I think Giannis is a good passer, right? There are spaces on the floor where he's not a good passer, and Sengun and I think Turkey, I think that they expose that, and I think that they're right. But I mean, I think that there's teams that already do that. The Miami Heat, they did that. Bam was their hub. I mean, they ran their offense through Bam, right? So Jimmy Butler was their leading scorer, but Bam was the guy that they ran dribble handoffs with. They pick and dive with, pick and pop with. And Bam was the guy who was hitting guys in the short roll, right? Bam was the guy who was hitting the guys on draw and kick. He was doing that. So we have big guys in the league today that we run our offense through, not particularly on the box like we did years ago with Ewing and Olajuwon. Nah, because the game has gotten pushed out away from the basket a little bit more. So I think with the infusion of great international bigs, I just think this is something that's going to continue. And I think that the point guard, he's not dead. I just think that he's just gotten transformed, just like the big man has, where we got more scoring league guards today than we had in the past. We have less primary distributors than we do scorers.
You answered my question. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely, brother. Good to talk to you.
All right, Breeze.
All right, Lydia.
I think we do that a lot of times, Ox. We have a tendency to see the game a little bit different and think that, the game isn't really, is it going in this direction? Yes, it is. It 100% is going in this direction. No doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Speaking of directions, Chill.
Yep.
We are headed in the direction of the WNBA playoffs tomorrow. Now, I saw some things in the comment section about people saying, well, that's dumb. They're not going to get high ratings because NFL Sunday. I want people to understand something. If you're a WNBA fan, you're a WNBA fan. You're going to watch WNBA. I don't think the WNBA has any interest, and I think they already know they're not in the league of the NFL. They're not trying to compete with them. You know what I'm saying? And Caitlin Clark doesn't play for the Golden State Valkyrie, and the Valkyrie sold out every single home game.
Ox, was there an empty seat in the house any night? Is what you're telling me? Every night we were sold out.
I think a lot of people understand that Caitlin Clark isn't the only basketball player in the world. You know what I mean?
Man.
And the show must go on, whether it's NFL Sunday or not. You know what I'm saying? Basketball must be played. So with that being said, Chill, let's talk about this WNBA playoffs. I was pretty shocked at how some things turned out. For instance, the fact that the Golden State Valkyrie did allow themselves to drop from 6 to 8 in 1 week. Now they're matched up with the Minnesota Lynx. So in the first round matchups, as we all know, this is a best of 3. First round, we have Minnesota Lynx versus the Golden State Valkyrie at the 1 and 8. The 2 and 7, we have the Las Vegas Aces, who are on a 16-game win streak against the Seattle Storm. I intend to be at the Climate Pledge Arena on Tuesday night to watch that game. At the 3, we have the Atlanta Dream taking on the number 6 seed Indiana Fever, led by Kelsey Mitchell. And for the 4 and 5 matchup, we have the Phoenix Mercury against the defending champ New York Liberty.
Yes, sir.
So we got some good matchups ahead of us, Chill. Anything you want to say about the playoffs or what you're expecting to see?
The playoffs are here, Ox. I'm super excited about that. Let's start there. The playoffs are absolutely here. I think that the New York Liberty, they got their hands full with Phoenix. They've had a difficult time with them throughout the course of the season. I think Phoenix beat them. I think Phoenix beat them 3 of the 4 times that they played them all year. I know how people feel about regular season games, and sometimes that actually translates. Alyssa Thomas has been nothing short of fantastic. That team plays as fast as they've played. The thing I'm thinking about with the Liberty is that they've actually gotten healthy. Stewie is healthy. Jaquel is healthy. Sabrina is now actually healthy. With them being healthy, I think that they can make the game more physical. And with them making the game more physical, I think they can outpower Phoenix. So I think this is going to be a 3-game dogfight. I think that they end up beating Phoenix in 3 games, but I think it's a 3-game dogfight. And would it be in a 3-game dogfight? I think that we're going to see something serious with them. I don't know if you know this.
Let me share something I did last night. I did a stream last night, and I actually did my predictions. I'm gonna share mine. I want to see if you agree with any of my my predictions on this WNBA playoffs.
What you got?
Let me see real quick.
The playoffs are here. Loving that.
Here we go.
The playoffs are here.
Okay, let me make it a little smaller. Okay, so here's what I got you. I got the Lynx in them. I got the Lynx obviously beating the Valkyrie. I think they're going to beat them in 2. I have the Liberty beating the Mercury. I think Jonquil, I think Sabrina, I think they're too much for the Mercury. I actually have the Indiana Fever beating Atlanta. And of course, I got the Aces beating the Storm.
So the dream. Nah, Ox, that Atlanta team, they too much for the Fever. And with Indiana losing, she tore her knee up. Why am I drawing a blank on her name? I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on her name, Ox. Yeah, she tore her knee up. But with them losing her, she's a big deal for them. And I feel like their guard play. I feel like their guard play is going to be the difference in this. Not because Kelsey Mitchell, who by the way was named first team All NBA by the AP today, today or yesterday. Not because of that, but because I feel like Atlanta's backcourt, I just think that they're deeper than the Fever's backcourt. They're really going to miss. As good as they've been without Caitlin Clark, this is the time of year when you need Caitlin Clark because she's the difference in the stuff that you guys got going on, right? So when you got a player like Caitlin Clark on your crew, this is when she thrives. So with that being said, I think that their backcourt is going to be too much because of the depth of their backcourt. I think that they handle Indiana in 2 games. I don't think this thing goes past 2. I'd be surprised if it went 3. First and foremost, Ox, not first and foremost, but furthermore, there's no way anybody can pick against a team coming into the playoffs winning 16 straight games.
No way.
If you come into the playoffs winning, I don't care what if we had a team in the NCAA tournament that came into the tournament winning 20 straight games and you found out that they was rolling, who are you going with? Because I know who I'm going with. I'm going with the team that's rolling coming into the playoffs. The Aces are rolling right now. 16 straight. They haven't lost a game since they haven't. The last game they lost was before they beat the Lynx by 50. When they beat the Lynx by 50, they haven't lost the game. So I think we're talking 2 months, Ox.
No, the Lynx beat them by 50.
The Lynx beat them by 50. They haven't lost the game since that game. That was the last game that they lost, Ox. Since then, they've been rolling. And Asia is looking like, I mean, what can I say? Ox, she look like the best player in the world. Am I delusional when I say she looks like that, or is she that? Well, I think she is that. I don't think that my eyes are deceiving me. So, Ox, I know this may sound crazy to you, but I might have to come off the stance that I had originally. I think the Aces is winning the WNBA championship. I do. I think they winning it. I do. I think they winning the WNBA championship.
Now we talking.
I think they winning the WNBA championship. And the reason why I think that is because, one, they rolling coming into the tournament. I mean, they rolling coming into the playoffs. And on top of that, their best player is playing like the best player in the world. When you have a team, I mean, the last time I saw this, I vividly remember this, Ox, like it was just yesterday. I saw this going in. I saw this in 2001 when the Lakers had like a 13 game win streak going into the playoffs in 2001, and Shaq was playing like the best player in the world. And it wasn't a coincidence that they steamrolled everybody in the playoffs. That was not a coincidence that they did that. So I feel like I feel like the same logic goes for what's going on right now with this Aces team. They got a 16-game win streak. A'ja Wilson looks like the best player in the world. Jackie is playing better than Jackie is playing way better than what I thought. Yes, that's what I'm saying. She's playing way better than what I thought she was going to play. And I mean, they got bucket getters. I feel like this team is just looking at A'ja. People think that they're just looking at A'ja and going, "You take us there," but they got a good team, Ox. And A'ja just so happens to be the catalyst of it.
Sure, not only that, but I mean, when Becky sent Jewel to the bench, Jewel accepted that, and I think she's been playing better and better. And I think we're catching Jewel Lloyd at a point where she's playing good basketball going into the playoffs, and I think that's scary. I think we all need to remember who Jewel Lloyd is. You know, and remember that she led the
WNBA in scoring. She did do that.
Just 2 seasons ago. So it's like she can still put the ball in the basket. I think she needed to go to the bench and, you know, play that role. And so I definitely see that. Also, Chill, the Lynx need to watch out because the New York Liberty are the defending champs for a reason. And it's looking like it. I expect the Liberty to beat Phoenix, and if that second round matchup is best of 5. So the first, just for anybody who doesn't know, first round best of 3, second best of 5, finals is best of 7. I will not be shocked if the Liberty take care of the Lynx in the second round.
Okay, so just so we clear, Ox, who put the Lynx out of the playoffs last year?
In the finals, the New York Liberty took care.
We want all that smoke, Ox, because we felt like we should have beat them last year. We felt like we felt like we had them on the hook last year. We want all of that smoke, and Fee wants all the smoke with Stewie. Not some of it or most of it. She wants all the smoke with Stewie.
Yes, she does.
Right.
Yes,
Sabrina, she wants all the smoke with Stewie. Their point guard in Minnesota, she want all the smoke with Sabrina because they looking at this team. They looking at this team like we had these dudes. I mean, we had them last year. I'm sorry, I said dudes because I'm thinking about the NBA. I'm sorry, but
yeah, we
had them last year, and it was a call. It was a play where we were right there. I think this Minnesota team is looking at this Lynx team like we want all the smoke with you guys, all of it.
Yeah.
I think that they beat them, Ox. Yes, I do.
No, so don't get me wrong. I have the Lynx winning that series. I do, but I just want everybody to be clear. That second round matchup, I'm assuming it will be Minnesota versus New York, and I just don't want anybody to look past the defending champion, New York Liberty. That's a great team up there still. They got chill. I'm telling y'all, I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked at all.
I would be, Ox. And the reason why is because I feel like this Lynx team, they just came back better. If I look at what happened last season, with the if I look at what happened last season with this with this Minnesota team. If I look at what happened last year with this Minnesota team, and they were basically a play away or 2 plays away from really challenging for the NBA championship and winning the NBA championship. This season we come back and okay, so Fee was out of the lineup. With Fee being out of the lineup, they still rolling, right? Kayla McBride has shown that she can get buckets when it's necessary to get buckets. Courtney Williams, you already know how I feel about the point guard who can play in the mid-range. She's got a great mid-range game coming downhill, especially in transition. She's nothing short of fantastic there. Then I got my dirty work girls in Bridget and Elena Smith, right? And Shepard. Then I got my dirty work girls in them. And you're the one who turned me on to Dejanay. You're the one who turned me on to her. I ain't really know much about Dejanay Carrington before then. You the one turned me on to her. So I feel like this crew, I feel like this crew is nothing short of championship ready, and they were right at the doorstep last year. I think this season, I think that they definitely push through, and they get past. I think they get past. I think they get past the New York Liberty and drop them.
Yeah, I mean, chill. I think we got to remember too that the Liberty they acquired Natasha Cloud in the offseason as well. So I think that adds a little more edge to that team too. Also, playing at Barclays. Like I went to game 2 of the finals last year. I was there at Barclays. That's not no nice. That's not a cakewalk. You can't just walk into Barclays and think it's sweet. The crowd is the energy is it's amazing in there. Like chill, it's like Arco in there. Like
that's the place that because I was thinking that I remember thinking I was in Arco Arena for Game 5 of the West Finals in 2002, and I was looking around going, this is not a nice place to be in, yo. This is not a nice place to be in. So your ass better be ready to play if you coming in here to play. So
it was intense. And mind you, I went there with my Kayla McBride jersey on. And you know, and like me, I really don't really care about stuff like that. But there was a couple times I was like, man, I might put my hoodie on. Like,
I might have to take this off because it might get dangerous in here. Yeah, yo.
I didn't, but I thought about it. Like I should probably put my hoodie on. This is a little too much. But so I'm just saying, man, the Liberty are not going to be a cakewalk. But the Mercury aren't going to be a cakewalk. So the Liberty need to take care of that first. But y'all make sure y'all tap in. Tomorrow we got some WNBA going on. First game of the playoffs. Y'all tap in for that. In the meantime, let's get back to the lobby. We still got a Hall of Famer in here that we got to get back up here. I hope you're ready now, Kenny.
What up? Nope. Not.
No. Hold on.
He is it. Okay, we about to bounce.
No. All right, what's up, guys? So,
what up?
What I want to talk about, we kind of got into this a little bit this morning, all right? And you guys were heavily talking about it. I think it was Friday. Yep. The difference between the nerd talk versus the hooper talk. And I talked a little bit about this earlier this morning, and I feel like what's really missing when it comes to this discussion is that the nuance on both sides when it comes to explaining their points when it comes to basketball, things of that nature, versus the nerd talk, their ideology is focused on the illusion or the perception of objectivity. They try to rely a lot on numbers, classifications, things of that nature, things that are hard to dispute in their eyes via fact. But the thing that really struggles with that is that what they're actually arguing isn't cold hard fact. It is an objective stat or something that is shown, but without the context that comes with it.
Sure.
On the flip side, the real hooper talk, I'll be using that in quotations, it's a lot of subjectivity. It's a lot of based off of experience, about your lived experience of being a hooper, things that you've seen, things that you've gone through, things of that nature. But that's the thing. That's implicit bias. There's things that you've gone through, and then you flip around, and someone else can go through the same thing, and experience it completely differently. And there's merit in both. The real lived experience shows you what it feels like in a way that a stat sheet can't. But it misses out on taking your personal bias out of it. And then on the flip side, on the nerd talk, it's too much removed from the lived experience. And I think that's where they constantly clash because their ideals are the polar opposites of each other.
And isn't that what makes the battle so good? Because we're on such opposite ends of the spectrum. You got a ball player here who is experienced, and not only is he experienced, he's won, he's played at a high level. So there is some emotion there. And I know that a lot of people say facts over feelings, but there is some emotion there because I played at a high level, so I know what it's like to be in the second half of a game, in the third quarter of a game, in the fourth quarter of a game, and okay, we gotta throw the playbook out, and I need this, I need a rebound, I need to get this, as opposed to a quote unquote nerd who I think on some level I'm nerdified, that looks at just the numbers, which are completely and utterly objective, because this is what you produced. We can argue a bunch of different things. We can't argue facts. This is what I produced. That is a fact. Adrian Dantley averaged 30 a game for 6 straight years. That is a fact. What we now have to add into that, and I think I had a conversation with you guys earlier today about this, is, okay, well, now the subjectivity comes into it. Okay, well, who did he do it against? Where did he do it? How did he get it? And then you may have a different idea of the player that he did it against, the team that he did it against, the building that he did it against, because you don't think that this is as good of a place to play. You think that there's tougher places to play, but he may think that, yo, you never been here before, so you don't know that. So this is where the subjectivity and the opinion about it comes in. But I do think that there's merit on both sides, because when you're talking about bringing up facts, there is no subjectivity when it comes to stats. This is what I did. These are my numbers. Now, if you want to break down my numbers and you want to break down the game, that's where the subjectivity comes into it.
Yeah. I think it's really important to use both. I think the lived experience is important to give context of what it feels like. Is there, like, even think about the type of player that's employed. Having a 6-foot guy guarding you versus a 6'9" guy guarding you. Granted, statistically, you can go to numbers of which one's better versus not, but then the lived experience, seeing that, just the visualization of someone who is towering over you, trying to block your shot, that instills a level of fear in you. Like, that's an emotion. And versus someone who's 6 foot, you can ignore that, and you don't experience that unless you've done it.
But see, this is why I say things like, I would much rather, in my experience, I've had a much better time with the guys that are 6'10" guarding me as opposed to guys that are 6'6" guarding me. You know what I'm saying? When you like 6'10", dude, I'm cooking you. Like, I'm gonna bring you 17, 18 feet. I'll make you go right. I'm boom by you. 6'6" dudes, they 6'5", them tweener guys that the big, they getting up under you. You can't post them up as easy. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot to it. That's the only reason I say, to the real hooper versus the nerd talk, like, if those are the terms we're going to use, that's, whatever, that's fine. There's just a lot more that goes into it. And I really feel disrespected when people say, oh, you don't know ball just because you don't talk it the same way.
That's dumb.
Like we've all said, we were talking about this earlier in the group chat, and we got into it. And my thing is, I just feel like a lot of what Jordan, I think what Jordan was trying to say the other day, and I think he was getting a little upset, and maybe it just didn't come off as, I don't know, friendly or whatever. But when you've played basketball and been around basketball for so long, like, I grew up in the gym. My father coached everything, so I grew up in the gym. So I understand things without having to break it all the way down and use certain terms. I just feel like when I say certain things, oh, everybody knows what I'm talking about, just keep going. But it might sound like, oh, you're not talking ball, you're just saying this, you're just no context. It's a narrative. And I'm like, there are things that go into basketball that I just can't explain. And I've said that before. I don't know how to explain things that are unexplainable. You have to be there, you have to be involved in it to feel these type of things. You know what I'm saying? So,
and to your point, Ox, and to your point, Ox, yo, the nerds, they use big words and they can be frightening. Like, you hear this stuff, you're like, wait a minute, what does that mean? And now you're starting to question if you know what you're talking about, because you hear this stuff over and over again. You're like, oh shit, And then now that's immediately where, the emotion comes in, because now I'm on the defense because this guy's saying something that I've never heard this term, tertiary. Like, wait a minute, what the hell does tertiary mean? Okay, I don't know what that means. A drag screen. Well, wait a minute, what does a drag screen mean? Okay, that's a guy moving and diving at the same time, or a drag screen, which is two screens. Okay, that's a double screen. Okay, I got it. But when you hear these big words and you hear these guys the way that they talk about the game, it could be intimidating sometimes because you don't know the terminology. So I do understand it from that aspect, and that's where the emotion comes in.
And once again, though, I think a lot of times I think we're talking about the same thing a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? And we just talk about it differently. And I think that's where it comes from. Like, to your point, Chill, I do think a lot of times it's just like we can be trying to say the same things, we're just saying it different ways. And coming from a point of where maybe I didn't play so much ball and I had to research, I had to watch, I had to study, I had to become a guy like Mars. I had a guy like Mars that's just put in work overtime to understand basketball and the level that he understands it. It's like I'm not gonna talk about it the same way as him, but I'm still gonna respect the fact that he knows what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? So that I think that's all. I think that everybody can come together and enjoy basketball and talk basketball and have a good time. I don't think we have to keep butting heads and saying, "Oh, you're not a hoop, you don't know what you're talking about," or whatever. I think we just got to find some common ground and
100%.
As long as the Brandon Cats of the world are around, we're never going to be able to do that, though. We're never going to, because guys like Brandon, he's the smartest guy in the room. He thinks he knows everything. Nobody knows anything. It's just him. He knows everything. So as long as guys like that are around, no, we're never going to be able to come to a common ground ever.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like because I come primarily from the track and field world. If I told you, and I sat here and talked to you guys saying like, oh, you have to go out for a run going critical velocity pace and make sure that you tempo it down to 530, you have no idea what I'm talking about. But if I said, oh, go out for a hard run, then bring it down, slow it down a little bit towards the end, you get what I'm saying now, right?
Yes.
Exactly. So it's like a similar thing, I think, with basketball. It's the terms and terminology. You're both saying the same thing, but one sounds like super nerdy, and whereas the other one's just a lot more simplified. And sometimes you lose the critical, like the terms that are being more specific. Like critical velocity is a very specific pace. Tempo is a very specific pace. But if you know it, you kind of just know, oh, I have to go out hard or I have to slow it down a bit. But that's because you've lived it. You don't have to use those terms. You've lived it. But when you have to explain it to someone who might know it, or like you said, someone who has to be more researched about it, that's where those technical terms come up more, because you have to put a name to the descriptions.
Exactly. That's thank you, Kenny. That's exactly what I be trying to say. Like I don't have to go into it and use that word. I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So, but
Tim Brooke, what's up, brother?
What's good, Cho?
Talk to you, yo.
What's
what
good,
up,
Kenny? What's good,
What's
Kenny?
up, What's up, Pen?
Yeah, I mean, I want to offer something to this as a recovering analytics nerd. Okay. I want to say, look, first of all, I hadn't even heard of this analytics stuff when I was coming up hooping, right? No one ever told me about my true shooting percentage or nothing like that. I just knew if I made shots, it was a good game. If I didn't make shots, maybe I need to get in the gym and work. So when I started writing about basketball, I started using what I knew was my competitive advantage, because I was working on my stats degree. I have a good mind for math. I was like, this is a way for me to discuss the game, because I'm not a coach. I'm not a coach, you know. I mean, I know a little bit about the X's and O's. I know a little bit about hoop, but I can't say like I was the best on my team at that. And I certainly wasn't the best player on my team. So what is it that I got to use as my advantage? I'm not a D1 hooper like you. I'm not a D1 hooper like Cho. So how do I find my voice in this world? And so I was like, okay, I'll crunch the numbers. That's something I think I can do better than most people. So that's where I found that edge. I think the problem comes when we start presenting these analytics as gospel, right? And I'll point to why they're not, right? Kenny, if you go through the history of the NBA draft, go from 1970 all the way till current day, when has the draft been the most efficient?
The most efficient?
Okay, so to define efficiency would be, when has the order of players drafted most represented the order of success that they had in the league? When is it most common that the top, 5 picks produce an MVP almost every single year?
Not frequently.
The 80s?
Yeah, Ox, you're right. 80s, 90s were more efficient than the NBA draft is today. Because today we are often seeing MVPs being drafted 15th, 11th, 41st, Jokic, these guys. So the question then becomes, we've leaned more into analytics. We have more data, more tracking data. Why are we worse at drafting today than the people who didn't know about analytics were in the 80s and 90s? That doesn't make a lot of sense, does it?
No,
How is it that but it's like, if you reverse engineer all the analytics to produce the results that you want, and you start really buying your own bullshit and saying, well, this guy had more win shares, so this guy's definitely better. Or this guy, there's a hard and fast rule that if you don't shoot well for 2 years in college, you're not going to be a good shooter. Like, these hard and fast rules limit like the eye test. And I think people get lazy. Maybe they don't do as much of the actual individual scouting, but I do believe you have to be in the gym. You have to get into the gym. You have to watch these kids, and you have to have a bit of an understanding of what you're even watching. What am I watching? Yeah. The best scouts in the world, I think, use all of it. They have some playing experience. They have some coaching experience. Anything they don't know, they figure out. For me, the last 3 years, one of my big blind spots was skills training. I'm not a trainer. So I started reaching out to every NBA trainer that I could find and start picking their brain and be like, okay, what can I figure out? What can I know? I start watching their content. This is just about like everyone trying to say I'm right because I did something you didn't do. I'm not right because I got a SAS degree and you don't have one. You're not right because you play D1 and I don't have one. At every single point, we got to come to the table and we got to build a bridge between analytics nerds and real hoop knowers, because everyone's kind of saying the same thing from their own lens. And I don't really believe that, because I'll prove it to you. Like this is the craziest thing. Kenny, VOR win shares. Here are some players who have more win shares in the 2021 draft than Cade Cunningham: Isaiah Jackson, Deuce McBride, Day'Ron Sharpe, Jalen Johnson, Moses Moody, Corey Kispert, Jalen Green, Quentin Grimes, Jonathan Kaminga, Santi Aldama, Ayo Dosunmu, Aaron Wiggins, Josh Giddey. What? I don't think anyone thinks those players are better than Cade Cunningham.
I heard.
I don't think they are.
I hear you. Hey, Penn, I just want to clear something up, because this isn't the first time you said this. Penn, I didn't play D1 ball. I didn't play.
You played D2?
Yeah, I signed to play at Seattle U when we went back D1, but I actually never played at Seattle U. Some things just went wrong in around that time. So I never actually played D1, but I don't want it to seem like I'm out here masquerading as a Division I athlete. I never played.
I checked out your high school rankings. You were good enough to play D1, so I'm gonna give you D1.
Oh no, without a doubt, I was definitely good enough. I just actually didn't play D1. I just want to make sure that it doesn't go out there that I was saying that I didn't. So, but shout out to you for coming in and clearing some things up and bridging that gap for us. I think once again that we can all talk ball and we can all have fun with basketball, because basketball is for everybody. It's not just for the athletes, not just for the nerd or whatever. It's for all of us. You know what I'm saying? We can all enjoy it, and we should all enjoy it, man. Shout out to y'all. We're gonna keep it moving. Appreciate you, Kenny. Appreciate you, Penn.
Pembroke. Absolutely, brother. Good to talk to you.
Peace, yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Definitely, man. I think that's good. We got to figure out a way to chill. We can be the one right here on Chill with Chill to bridge the gap between hoopers and nerds. I mean, because it's all love. It's basketball.
Everything doesn't. I mean, we could bring the ruckus. We could have a fight. Like, I mean, we can definitely do that. But like, not everything has to be. No, not everything. We can actually have basketball talk. We can do that.
Yeah,
we can 100% talk basketball.
I like that. Hey, Chill. Speaking of hoop talk and hoopers and nerds and debating and whatnot. Everybody that missed it yesterday. If you missed it yesterday, first of all, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Do you live under a rock or like what's happening? But the PCL is going on.
Yes,
PCL season 3 is here. We did the draft yesterday. I picked my team. Jordan picked his team. Chill, you picked your team, and Swiper picked his team. We will be at it, you know what? I'm not gonna. I think the dates might have been shifted. I'm not always sure, so I won't put those up right now. I'll let Ron take care of that. But chill. I want to ask you: are you excited for the PCL season 3? Do you think your team has a shot? And if your team does win the first round, what will happen when it's you versus Fluent versus Dion from Ohio versus ZZ? How will that go, Chill? I'm not trying to cause a rift between your team or anything. I'm just curious to know.
Be like that anyway. When we get through the round and we end up having to go up against each other, well, I've studied these guys for as long as I've studied them. So, I mean, I do think that I'm gonna come out victorious, no doubt about that. But I didn't pick guys that I think that I could beat. I pick guys that are gonna get me to the finals, and I'll take over from there. That's what I did. I pick guys that are going to get me to the championship that I can help. That's going to help me get to the championship. And once we get to the championship, all right, give me the pill. I got it, no doubt. I got it. So I've gone up against my man Tony Tone a bunch of different times, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be really fun. Dion, last time I saw him, he beat me. So that should be really good. And ZZ, I mean, what can you say about ZZ that hasn't already been said? I mean, ZZ consistently comes with facts. That's why I got these guys on my team. That's exactly why I got these guys on my team. So if anybody's going to be ready, I know they're going to be ready. I know that for a fact.
Definitely. I you know who I really wanted to be in this? I wanted to get my man Reaves. I was hoping Reaves was going to be in the PCL this year. I wanted Reaves really bad. I was like, I kept asking Ron, I'm like, yo, who's in it? The one thing I hate about Ron is he just, when it comes to this, he just moves with so much integrity. I'm like, bro, you not on the take a little bit? Like he never gives me any inside information. I'll just be like, Ron, like, hook me up. Like, nah, bro.
Some people had asked me yesterday after the show. I mean, I got, DMs and stuff like that. How come you ain't pick Ox? Well, Ox wasn't available. Ox wasn't on the board. You don't think I would have picked Ox if he was on the board? Yes. 100% I would have picked Ox. I'm here with him every day. You don't think I would have put Ox on my crew? If I could have had him? Yes, I would have definitely done that.
Chill. I honestly think this PCL, the way we're doing it this year, I think is meant for guys like me. I think I'm a little better off the cuff than I am when I got to do a whole bunch of research. I think I'm a little better in that aspect. So I'm excited for this one, Chill. And I also think, like, obviously guys like you and Fluent, y'all are gonna be, because it's just we get the topic right there on the spot. And I think y'all know so much ball where it's just like it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough for the other teams, but I'm excited for this year's PCL. PCL season 3 is here, y'all. Make sure you don't miss a single debate, y'all. Come and show love. We're excited. I hope y'all are excited as well. Come on, man. Just come through. I see we still got a couple of people in the lobby. I'll get right back to y'all. Hold tight. I'm coming back. I want to ask you something, Chill. There's somebody that I believe is going to be eligible for the Hall of Fame next year.
Who's that?
One of my favorite point guards, if not my favorite point guard of all time, Rajon Rondo, I believe is going to be eligible next year. Chill, do you think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, or do you think he's going to have to sit back and wait for a little while?
Well, he's eligible in the summer of 27 because he retired in 22. So 5 years after you 5 years after you retire, that's when you're eligible. So he'll be eligible in 27. And when I think about Hall of Famers and I think about what they've done, what are you famous for? Did you win? What kind of longevity do you have? And I mean, Rondo fits that description. I'd be lying if I look at Rondo's numbers. Rondo's one of the best distributors the NBA has ever seen. Led the league in assists. One of the best defensive players that the NBA has ever seen. I think he was an all-league defender like 3 or 4 times. Made the All-Star team a couple of times, which I know to a lot of you guys, and it might not seem like a big deal, but there was a time when playing in the All-Star game was a big deal. I don't know if you guys know that, but there was a time when being an All-Star was a big deal, and Rondo was consistently on the All-Star team. His numbers are similar to Mo Cheeks. These are the type of dudes that I put Rondo in the same class with. So when I think about him being a Hall of Famer, when I think about the point guards of that generation, and we got great point guards of that generation, right? So Curry, Westbrook, Chris Paul, Dame, Irv, John Wall, let's see, Derrick Rose. Like we have great point guards. Kyle Lowry. Rondo is definitely amongst the pantheon of great point guards during that time. And he played for a long time. And whenever a guy, and this might sound a little bit ridiculous, but whenever a guy has a nickname, a playoff nickname, and he actually lives up to that, then 100% I think that he is that. I mean, playoff Rondo is a real thing. Rondo elevated his game in the playoffs numerous times. I'm on record saying in 2017, if Rondo doesn't break his hand, that Boston Celtic team, which was the number 1 seed or number 2 seed, they're out. Chicago beats them if he did not break his hand. I thought that they were out. Yeah, no question about that. Yes. So, I mean, Rondo was the consummate lead guard. He was the consummate point guard, the consummate table setter, great defender, could get downhill with the best of them, could score the basketball. We actually had a playback game. We watched the Celtics and the Bulls in the playoffs. I forgot how good Rondo was at getting to the rim. I forgot that. I forgot how good Rondo was as a bucket getter. So, Ox, if he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, he doesn't last past the second ballot. I definitely think that if he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, he'll be a second ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt. No doubt.
100%. I agree with you on that Chicago Bulls take. I think they had that one in the bag. I think they're going to beat Celtics for sure. Chill. Yeah. I think you should go to the Hall of Fame if you win a championship with the Celtics and a championship with the Lakers. Who does that? You know what I'm saying? Who does that? You win a championship with the Lakers and the Celtics, Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer.
Just off the strength of you doing that alone.
Right.
Just off the strength of you doing that alone. Yeah.
Chill. You know what? I want to make sure I get his name right. So let me just read it from here.
Mm-hmm.
The former CEO of Aspiration, the company that LA Clippers owner Steve Ballmer is accused of using to circumvent the salary cap. Said Friday that claims that Kawhi Leonard signed a no-show contract with his former company are false.
Okay, so the fact that he signed a no-show contract, that doesn't mean that he wasn't affiliated with your company. I think that what you're trying to do is you're trying to throw us off the scent of what's actually going on here. Okay, that's what's really going on. And Oxen, you and I have been in court, and you've talked to me about, there's 100,000 people there's hundreds of thousands of people in the state of California that wear a size 12 shoe. There's a bunch of different people that wear this kind of shoe. So I mean, we're going home with the circumstantial evidence. I think the smoking gun here, and I don't need a smoking gun, I don't, but I think the most incriminating evidence is the money. And I'm listening to claims about how the Aspirations came up with the money that they came up with. And then immediately when they came up with the money that they came up with, it was gone. How Aspirations employees were disgruntled about this. Well, the reason why they're disgruntled about this is because that bread didn't go to them. So when we get a windfall of $1.9 million, and that $1.9 million ends up going to the person who's, we have a contract with, and then we don't get to see any of that dough, and then the company goes under, you have disgruntled employees. When you have disgruntled employees, you have people who talk. And you have people who talk exactly about what's going on here. So I think the biggest problem that I have with this is how they think we're delusional. Like Mark Cuban says, well, what does I heard Mark Cuban say, well, what exactly does what exactly do the Clippers have to gain? Because I want to make sure that I get his comment right, Ox, because I don't want to give you any bad information. I want to make sure that I get what he said correctly, because he said specifically, what exactly does, let's see here. Let me get it right, Ox, because I don't want to give you any bad information.
Chill, but while you're looking for that, chill, I just want to say, what Mark Cuban is doing by defending Steve Ballmer in this situation, he's about to have Pablo on his ass next.
Yes, and that you don't want that. That you do not want. No, you do not want that. So I do have it right here, Ox. If you give me a second, because I'm pretty confident.
I'll read this super chat from Cowboy Bob. He says September 27 win prizes. Leave answer in comments. Go New York, go! Shout out to my man Cowboy Bob.
So he said that. Well, he said exactly what do the Clippers have to gain with giving this money to aspirations. What do the Clippers have to gain with giving this money to aspirations, this $1.9 million? Kawhi Leonard. That's what they gain. What are you talking about, Mark? He's the piece here. There's no other reason why they would be giving him this money. No other reason. So this is the stuff that I'm talking about with you, Ox, when I say stuff like you talking to me like I'm a dumbass. You talking to me like I'm stupid. When the evidence is right in front of me. This is why you're doing this. This is the motivation. And to sit there and tell me that, yo, I got scammed. Okay, first and foremost, there's no billionaire. I'm not going to use that in quotations. So for Steve Ballmer to be a $100+ billion billionaire, Ox, I'm not dealing with him. I'm dealing with his people. Right. Do you know how many people I got to talk to before I get in a room with him? There's no way I'm just getting in a room with him. Like you just get to see a hundred billionaire go, yo, I need to hold 2 million. Can I do that? No. There's too many people that I have to get to for this deal to happen before this happens. There's no way that happens. So when he tells me that his friend writes a check for $1.9 million and we're worried about the taxes, again, Steve Ballmer isn't touching this. There's people who are dealing with this. Prime example, Ox, and this is the best example that I could give you. Okay, the drug kingpin, he ain't moving the weight. He got people for that. This is where it's going to go. This is where it's going to happen. And this is where I'm going to be when the whole thing jumps off. So I'm not complicit in this. Well, it's the same logic with Steve Ballmer. You think Steve Ballmer got his hands on that money? No. My grandmother told me when I was a kid, Ox. My grandmother told me when I was a kid, Ox, really quickly, if you're going to do something wrong, do it right. And Steve Ballmer know what he's doing. Give me a break.
Yeah, but the thing with Mark Cuban, once again, like I was saying, Chill, it's like when one drug kingpin is on trial, another drug kingpin doesn't go testify for him.
No, he doesn't. That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? That's how you end up under investigation. Like Mark should just calm down, stay back, chill out, and just watch from the sideline. Steve got this. Now, in closing note, Chill, because I know we keep going back and forth about this and over, Chill. With this being said, he came out and said Kawhi Leonard didn't do that. I just want to be very clear that at the very most, my client will plead guilty to receiving stolen goods or possession of proceeds. 30-game suspension, max. That's it. That's all we giving you. Possession of proceeds or receiving stolen goods. That's it. No, nothing else. No conspiracy. None of that. No fraudulent charges. None of it.
Okay, first and foremost, Ox, and you and me have 100% going back and forth with this. I'm in the Ray Lewis space. Like, remember when people talked about, Ray Lewis killed such and such. Okay, if you remember, Ray Lewis wasn't charged with murder. Ray Lewis was charged with obstruction of justice. And essentially what they said to Ray was, we know you didn't do this. We know who what we want. I'm not trying to do that, Ox. No, I'm not trying to destroy you. I'm not trying to fry your man. But I know he got his hands in the cookie. He might not have his hands all the way in the bottom of the cookie jar. Your man over here is the one who brought the cookie jar in, put all the cookies in. Your man, your client, he got half of his hand in the cookie jar. And I ain't trying to fry him. I just want to make sure that we are understanding that he is involved in this on some level. I ain't trying to give him what I'm giving your man. I want your man. That's who I want. I don't want your man. I want his man. That's who I want.
Well, we won't be making any statements. So do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. Hey, we just simply, hey, your Uncle Dennis saying, do your job. All right. You're good over here.
We got nothing to say, yo.
Right. Nothing. Because the last thing we want is Steve Ballmer. All right. So we're good over here. All right. So let me see who we got. We got Petar Gachovsky. Hope I said your name.
What up?
Right. What's going on, fam?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You hot?
I don't know why I cannot hear you. Give me a second. Sorry.
Okay, drop out. Just reset. I'm gonna move on to somebody else. I'll come back to you in a couple minutes.
Yes, sir. We got you. Yep, we got you.
Rock out, Deuce. What's going on, fam?
Yo, what up, fellas? Man, So the other day, man, I got into this debate, and it's a silly debate in my eyes. So when I say this comparison, I want you to take the name away and think of the year that we are in. My guy the other day told me James Harden in 2025 is better than John Morant.
When?
Today,
Or
going
just,
into
or
next
just
season.
today?
Today, going into next season.
Is that ridiculous to say that? I mean,
I think so.
For what I predict. Now, see, here's the thing. Whenever we talk about Memphis, this is what we was talking about earlier, Ox, when we talk about the nerd talk with the basketball talk. My man Taj over here, he a Memphis guy. So what I need you to do is I need you to take your fan hat off for a second and think about what Ja was to his crew this year, what Ja was as a player this year, and what James Harden was as a player last year to that Clipper team. That's what I want you to do right now.
I got the fan hat off. I can name some guards I can like truly honestly admit that's better than John Morant going into next season. I can do that no problem. But I honestly think James Harden is not better than John Morant. It's no way.
Why is James Harden not better than John Morant today? What does John Morant have over James Harden today that John Morant had over him in the past? Go.
James Harden, when he shows up in the playoffs, it's bad. It's bad.
Okay.
And John Morant, his age already right now going into the playoffs, he's already a great playoff performer. John Morant averages 27 points in the playoffs. He only played 30 minutes per game with a messed up shoulder. And if you look up the stats, I think Ja averaged more points. I think Harden beat him on the assist. And but Harden had more minutes than him. I really just I don't see it. I think Ja's the better bucket getter today. I just think John Morant is better.
So when you look at what James Harden has done in the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
those mishaps, like, do they overshadow the other stuff that he's done? Because like James Harden gets busy in the playoffs. It's just that one game that we know is coming, right? We with that one game that we know is coming. Does that overshadow all the other stuff that I'm doing? Like when I'm dropping 40 and 11, when I'm dropping 32 and 9, and we're winning games. It's just that one game, because it's not like I'm trash in the playoffs every year, every game. That's not going on. So is that the problem?
I want to say it's kind of tough for Harden because I mean those stat lines that you drop that's I'm thinking of prime Harden when you drop those stat lines. I don't see Harden doing that for the Clippers right now. I mean he had some good games against the Nuggets. I forgot what game it was that he went off on the Nuggets, but he has some good games every day and now. But when I watch John Morant in the playoffs, John Morant activates into a different beast in the playoffs. It's kind of crazy to watch. It's like a different switch come on. I seen Ja in 2023, 2022, game 3 of this year when he looked like he was going to have a great game before he got took out by Lou Dort. John Morant just got this switch in the playoffs. It's amazing to see. Like it's amazing. I wish he could stay healthy so he could prove it more. But from what I've seen from him, he's an amazing playoff performer. I think he's a better playoff performer than James Harden.
So if he played the way he played in the playoffs last year, because y'all got completely and utterly dominated, completely and utterly dominated in the playoffs. In I think he only played 3 games. In 2 of the 3 games, he was super whack. I'm not saying that he was bad. He was super whack in 2 of them 3 games. Y'all got y'all ass kicked. And then in that 3rd game, that wasn't. I mean, I think that was inadvertent what Lou Dort did. But even still, I watched you guys play against, because you bring up the playoffs. I'm not just bringing up the playoffs. I'm thinking about the fact that James Harden has been in the playoffs every year of his career, including last year, considering all the injuries that they had with the Clippers, considering how we had guys in and out of Norman Powell being in the line. Still,
it is lagging a little bit.
With him having an all-pro season, with him having the all-pro season that he had last year, Ja Morant, whose jump shot looked like it went the other way. In addition to his jump shot going the other way, he didn't stay healthy. So with that being said, why is James Harden not better than him going into next season? Is it just because you like? Is it just because you dig Ja Morant more? Because that's what it sounds like to me.
Okay, so if I'm thinking of the best point guards in the league right now, right? I'm thinking Luka. I'm thinking SGA. You can argue Brunson.
I'm taking James Harden over Ja Morant. Yes, I
You
am.
are? Where you got Ja Morant ranked in point guards, chill? Like top 10 point guards off the dome right now.
Shea, Luka, Curry, Brunson, Cade, Young, Fox, Darius Garland, Harden. I think he's around that. I think that Ja Morant is around that 8 to 11 spot.
What do you think his projected stat line will be? Not at. See, this is what I'm thinking. Now that Desmond Bane is gone, he's more reliable. He has to be here. He is no. You can't just sit 20 games. It's gonna be some nights he has to play through injury. He has to play through sore nights. So,
but he can't though. We've seen that already. He can't. We've seen that already. We've seen it. So I mean, I don't think that's even a question to ask because we've already seen that. So that's just not true. Because
what's his projected stat line that you think he's going to have going into this season? Now that Bane is gone, he's going to have to be more of a scorer. What do you think his projected stat line is going to be?
I think I could see Ja anywhere between 22 to 24 games, something like that. I could see that.
Mm-hmm. Oh no,
I can see that. Yo, those who you got? Ja or De'Aaron?
Ja or De'Aaron?
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of tough for me, honestly.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
For me, it's tough. For me, it's tough. Because
when Ja Morant was playing at that MVP level, every time he saw Foxy kicked his ass. Every time he saw him.
Stomped a mud hole in his ass.
Every time he saw him, he kicked his ass.
It's tough for me because when I look at both of them, I think they're missing parts of each other's game. I think De'Aaron's missing the finishing that Ja has. I think Ja's missing the mid-range that De'Aaron has. It's kind of tough. In the defense, exactly. So it's kind of tough. For that, I think it's preference for me, honestly, because going into this season, I think Ja's going to average 28. I think he's going to average 28 points.
Oh, shit. Okay.
He's done it. He's done it twice. He's done it twice before. I think he's going to average 28 points going into this season. 27, 28 in that range. And I think he's going to average like 7 assists. I think Ja's going to enter right back into that top 6, top 5 point guard conversation going into this next season.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, maybe so. John needs to. I know one thing. John needs to get to Miami. But other than that, though, appreciate you pulling up, though, fam. We're gonna keep it moving.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all, man.
All right, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I want y'all to get to Miami personally, but we'll see.
I think y'all be wild as hell down here in South Beach.
Once again, I'm gonna try to get you. Oh shit. Pitar.
Can you hear me now? All good.
Yes, sir. We hot.
Yep. Hey, I just wanted to add something to the Ja Morant take. With the new head coach, Thomas Isalo, he's a Finnish coach. I know how he played here. I know that the point guard was the alpha and omega. So I agree. I agree that he'll be averaging right around 25 to 30, and 8 to 10 assists. Because I don't know if you know TJ Shorts, but he brought him from the lowest leagues in Europe to the best or top 3 best point guards in the EuroLeague. So with Ja Morant, I think he'll do all right this season.
Good luck with
just
that.
Because of the head coach, and I know his ideas, I know his philosophy. So I'm high on Ja Morant this season.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I wanted to spoil the final for tomorrow. I'm gonna tell you the winner from now. It's gonna be Turkey.
You think they handle Germany, or you think it's a dogfight?
See, chill. I think they'll try to slow down the game because Germany thrives on transition. Dennis Schroeder, France. They have the big man, the Daniel Theis. He also good on transition. But I think the main difference here will be the head coach, the Turkish head coach, Ergin Ataman. He's a tournament expert. He won 2 EuroLeagues with the Turkish club he was coaching, Anadolu Efes. He won a Euro Cup with another Turkish team. He won a EuroLeague with Panathinaikos from Greece 2 seasons ago. So he's a tournament expert. With him, it all starts with the mind games. He started against Sweden. He was complaining for 2 days. Why are they playing at noon? Here in Europe, it's noon. In America, it was like 6 a.m., 5 a.m. He started from then. He's always like in the EuroLeague as well. Even if they win, he's always complaining about something. So with him, it's the mind games.
Okay.
And Germany have a new head coach. He was out for the whole group stage. There was an ex Spanish player, Alex Mumbrú. So his assistant was leading the Germany national team, and now he's in the main role for the last two games. I think with Turkey, they have the best American that's ever played in Europe, in my opinion. Shane Larkin. They have
Shengun.
Yeah, they have Şengün. They have Osmani. I don't know if you watched the game yesterday. He was the best player.
He was fantastic. Said he was great. Yes, he was great.
They played together for 2 or 3 years at the club in Turkey, Beşiktaş. Şekmus Kazer as well. He was doing some NBA tryouts. Didn't got a contract. He signed in the EuroLeague. They have ex-76er Furkan Korkmaz. They have Adem Bona.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Turkey got a good team, yo. Turkey got a damn good team, and I'm real interested to see what happens. I know you got some more for us, but I'm getting the bat signal. I'm getting the bat signal. So we got to wrap this thing up. Unfortunately, my man. Definitely, it was good to talk to you, though. I appreciate it.
Petar, you say your name like Petar or Peter? How I say your name?
I mean, you can call me Peter. He's like Petar.
Peter. Okay,
Petar.
for sure. So, hey man, click the link some other time, man. Pull back up on this, man. We're very interested in hearing about what you got for EuroLeague basketball, bro. We do got to get moving. I don't know if you know Claire, but she do not play, so we got to get out of here, bro. But please click the link again, man. Please do for sure.
I'll do.
All right, appreciate you.
Have a great day.
You
yes,
too,
sir.
Yeah, man. Y'all know what time it is, man. We're three minutes over, and Claire's treating us like it's midnight or something. But yeah, man. Like we said already. I mean, I know it's football going on today, football going on tomorrow, WNBA playoffs going on tomorrow. We got a big fight tonight. It is a big week of sports, a big weekend of sports. Man, y'all, you will not be deprived of any sports this weekend, so make sure you tap in. Make sure you get your snacks together. Get your cardio in before you sit down now. Go get a walk or something. Do something, y'all. Enjoy your weekend, though. Chill.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys soon. You know where to find us at. Me and my man, Big Ox, we here on Thursday and Saturday. We are not hard to find. We will see you guys soon. Until then, put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When's the last time you talked to your mother? I just talked to my mother last night. She's doing great, by the way. Call your mother. And if you're ever in the Portland area and you had too much to drink, hit my big fella up. He'll make sure that you get where you need to go. So we will see you guys soon. But until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys.
Peace. We'll see y'all Monday, man. We'll see y'all Monday. PCL Season 3 is here. It's on the way. We got our teams. If you missed the draft, go back and watch yesterday's episode. We got a great PCL coming, man. See y'all later. Never, ever, ever, ever drink and drive, y'all. Peace.
Don't do that.